Hey there, my name is Lumane, and I'm a pop singer and songwriter originally from Switzerland, living in Indianapolis, Indiana. You can find me on all streaming platforms at Lumane Music, so like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that good stuff.
Me plus you is taboo. Me plus you is vandals. Look out, what a dangerous mess we're getting ourselves into. Me plus you is taboo. Me plus you is vandals. Look out, what a dangerous mess we're getting ourselves into.
My first memory of really grasping music and paying attention to it was when my mom was playing the Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven on our piano at home. She's always playing piano, making music. So yeah, that was my first memory, and I don't know, I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and that's where I was just oh my gosh, I have to be just like that. I want to play piano just like my mom, and I want to play that Moonlight Sonata because it's just still to this day, I believe, one of the most beautiful pieces ever written. So that's basically where, my inspiration came from. I started taking piano lessons. I even played the recorder, in school, like literally every kid does. And, I picked up the guitar. I took some guitar lessons. And in 7th grade, I also started taking voice lessons. I actually wasn't allowed to take voice lessons before that because the music school in my town, or in my region, in my county, or whatever you want to call that. Because in Switzerland, we have different names for areas. States are called canton, and whatever, it doesn't matter. But, I wasn't allowed to take voice lessons before 13 years old. I started at 12, right before I turned 13, but oh my gosh, I just couldn't wait to take voice lessons, and it was just so much fun. But yeah, my whole inspiration, oddly enough, comes from classical music, and I don't make classical music now, right? I'm a pop girl through and through. That's all I listen to even. I love listening to just the top 40s and independent artists that make top 40 music. Kind of the style. Obviously not top 40, but the style of the top 40. Just pop through and through. And pop is such a broad term, and I think that's what I love about it. If you look at Celine Dion and Billie Eilish, they're both pop singers, but completely different. And I think that's what I love about pop music so much. And that's what made me decide, to dip my toes into pop music as well, because it's just so broad.
I'm not sentimental, better off on my own. 'Cause people falling in and out of love, people falling in and out of love all the time. And I'm doing just fine, 'cause I'm burnt on letters, my heart has moved on. It's like this.
As I said, I was born and raised in Switzerland, and I went to school there all the way through high school, always participating in every extracurricular activity that I could that had anything to do with music, band, choir, guitar lessons, recorder, whatever they offered, I was a part of it. Then, in your last year of high school, you kind of have to start figuring out what you want to do with your life, where you're going to go, right? And I always knew that, I had to do something with music. It was just so clear to me. I never did anything else in my life. I was always playing music. And I applied for colleges in Switzerland, actually only to one, because there was only one college that, that where you could study pop music, contemporary music, and not just classical or jazz music. And I actually didn't get in because they only take one singer per year. And I was 18 at the time, and they told me that, they don't take anyone under 20. So I graduated high school not knowing what I was gonna do, right? I did not get accepted to the one college that I applied to. And I had no other plans, so I was just kind of like, okay, great, what are we gonna do? But then I kept researching schools over the summer break, and found actually a really cool school in New York City. I always knew that I wanted to move to the States at some point, if I could, obviously. And, you know, I found the New York Film Academy in New York, and I have had no experience in musical theater, but I was always really intrigued by it because I thought, well, why not act, sing, and dance at the same time? That sounds like a really good time, and, you know, like a lot I can learn, and sounds like fun. So I applied there, and I actually got in and moved to New York that September, right? So in May, I had no idea what I was gonna do, and in September, I, you know, moved to New York City all by myself at 18 years old, which was so much fun and the best decision I've ever made. So I'm so thankful now that I didn't get into the college in Switzerland, because, oh my gosh, I never would have ended up in New York, I would assume at least, and it was just the coolest experience ever. So I finished my 2-year musical theater program there in New York City, and I realized that it wasn't just my absolute passion. So I decided to audition for the Berklee College of Music in Boston, which is an amazing contemporary music college, and I got in, yay! So I moved to Boston and started my studies in songwriting, vocal performance, and music business, and I really, really loved it. And after my first year, I actually met a manager down in Nashville, Tennessee, while I was on a school trip with Berklee. Actually, we went to Nashville over spring break, and that was super fun. And, you know, we learned a lot because there were a lot of different speakers from the music industry just speaking there, and that was really awesome. So yeah, I met a manager down there, and he wanted to work with me, so I decided to finish my semester, my first year at Berklee. I did 3 semesters in 1 year, but I finished my 3rd semester there and decided to move to Nashville while finishing my school online. So yeah, I moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and I wrote and recorded my first album down there, which was so much fun. I got to work with the coolest people ever, and you know, I had a bunch of co-writers and a producer that helped me out, and it was just the coolest experience. And I got some fire songs out of this. I actually have like 8 songs that are fully written and produced, and I released 3 of them. My latest single, White Lies, just came out in July, and I've gotten amazing feedback from all the songs. So I'm just super excited to share my songs with everyone. And yeah, I am in Indianapolis now, as I said in the beginning, because my husband lives here and he has his job here, and I'm a little bit more flexible, so I decided to come up here as well. I've been playing lots of gigs up here in Indy, mostly last summer, because, you know, this summer nothing's happening. And oh my gosh, I think I played 50 gigs in 3 months, which was a lot, and it was definitely hard work, but I enjoyed it very much. It was a really cool experience for sure.
We were almost perfect, but you were moving at a slow pace. Kingdom isn't worth it when paradise is in the fast lane. Telling you the truth will break your heart. I wanna see you in pain. Telling you the truth.
I don't have a specific release date yet, but I want to release the rest of my album, which is 5 more songs, sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. I hope you're gonna get a chance to listen to all the songs from the album, because I truly believe they're all great and they're all telling a different part of my life. And you know, like my life in Switzerland and my life here were very different, so I like to, you know, include all of it, because all, like, my entire life story makes me who I am today. So all the songs from this album, you know, tell a different story from a different part of my life. And yeah, I can't wait for you guys all to hear it. I hope you're gonna like it, and thank you so much for having me.